All right, guys, here we go. Now, last week, or I shouldn't say last week, but whenever we last did some math, we did trigonometry, but we only did it for right triangles. So the last two sections are going to be me showing you how we can use trigonometry for any type of triangle. So the first thing I want to do is I'm just going to add a page real quick, and I just want to show you how simple this is. All right, so hold on, let me grab. All right, add a page. All right, here we go. Just watch the easy, simple little proof for the law of sines. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw any type of triangle. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and label it for you so we can see A, B, C. This is B, this is A, this is C. Just remember that opposite angle and side are related. All right. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the altitude from A. It could be from any side. Understand that that makes no difference. All right. So what they figured out was this. Obviously, that creates two right triangles. So what I'm going to do is I am now going to call this the height. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an equation with the triangle on the left. And I'm specifically going to use, because it's beneficial, I'm going to use angle B. All right. So what I want to show you is that the sine of B is equal to H over C. Does everybody remember that? Mm-hmm. That's easy, right? Then we're going to go from C's perspective, and we're going to relate the height. So we would say from C's perspective, we would say that the sine of C is equal to what? H over B. See how simple that is? Now, keep in mind that the height has not changed, or H is the same variable. So over here, I can say H is equal to C sine B. And over here, I can say that H is equal to B sine C. Does everybody agree with that? Therefore, we know that C sine B must equal B sine C. Does everybody agree with that? Now, I want to do this so it's not confusing. It's kind of a mistake. That's lowercase, all right? Because sides are lowercase. Now, what I want to do is I want to simply divide this side by sine C and divide this by sine B. And now you have a proportion that relates the sides and the angles. So C over the sine of C is always equal to B over the sine of B, all right? Which was pretty impressive when it was first discovered, all right? Now, could I use the same thing with A? And the answer would be what? Yeah. So then you can say A over sine A. All right, so notice the angle, I should say the side and the angle are always on top of each other. All right, is everybody with me on that? Simple, simple, simple formula. All right, that was helped out tremendously how to solve triangles and figure out the lengths and the measures of the sides once they figured that out. All right, so again, that is the formula that is necessary to solve all of these triangles now. We don't have to just have a right triangle. We can have any triangle, all right? Now, of course, when we do these, I want to make sure that everybody notices this. In order to use the law of sine, you have to have a side known and an opposite angle known. Does everybody see that? All right. So that's the relationship. So once I see this right here, and I have this angle measure right here, I know I'm going to be solving for DF. But can I find angle D here?
Yes.
Yeah, all I have to do is just add them up and subtract from 180. Does everybody agree with that? All right, so now I'm going to show you how simple, guys. So here we go. So for this problem, all I need you to write down is the sine of 80 over 20 is equal to the sine of 44 over, and I'm just going to put DF. Now, does it matter if I put the sides on top or the angles on top? Does that really matter? It makes no difference because it's just a proportion. So it doesn't matter how you want to write it. All right. I'll switch them up every once in a while. All right. Now, here's what I want everybody to be able to do. Pull out your calculator. The only thing I need you to do is to do what? To set it up. Right? I don't want you to cross multiply. This is not what's on your paper. DF sine of 80 equals 20 sine 44. DF equals 20 sine 44 divided by the sine of 80. Right? That's what everybody's going to want you to do. If you can't do that, right, we're in trouble. All right, there's no reason for you to do the law of sines if you can't cross, multiply, and divide in your head. Is everybody with me on that? Right, so you have to set up the proportion. The reason why I say you have to set up the proportion because I don't want a careless mistake. All right, so everyone knows you're just going to do what? You're going to multiply 20 times the sine of 44. Now make sure you close the parentheses or it'll be a wrong answer. And then divide it by the sine of 80. And I want somebody to tell me what DF is. 0.062. I like that because generally in math we round to 3 decimal places.
Yeah, so did I.
Who said the wrong answer then? Drew. 0 for 1 already. All right. 14 point what? 107. Does everybody agree? Simple, simple, simple. It's super easy. All right. It's just a new formula. Tomorrow we learn the law of cosines. All right. Tomorrow we learn the law of cosines. All right. So just because I gave you a bunch of work, we're just going to go down and do number 3 now. All right. So here we go on number 3. I want to do, now again, most of the time it's up to you, but I like to circle the opposite angle and the opposite side. I like to set that up first. All right. So I just say the sine of 45 over 9.8 equals the sine of 30 over xz. Now you just take your handy dandy calculator. This is less than a minute. Takes less than a minute to solve each problem. 9.8 times the sine of 30. Then we divide it by sine of 45. Now everybody's got to make sure they're doing that properly. All right, don't let someone tell you what the answer is. You do the calculation on your own calculator, and then you tell me the answer. Then you can verify if you know how to set things up properly. Correct answer, someone. 6.93. All right, 930, or I want it to 3 decimal places. So 930. And generally, if you put a 0 at the end, that shows that you rounded to 3 decimal places. But do I care? No, I don't care. All right, here we go. We're going to set up number 5 now. All right, so once again, I just like to circle just so I keep my eyes, make sure I'm not making a careless mistake. So I write sine 64 over 32 equals sine of 47 over PQ. Now, of course, we cross multiply. You always multiply the 2 numbers, and then you divide it by the other number. And then we just say PQ to 3 decimal places, please.
26.039.
0 what?
39.
Drew, can we count on you? Is that right? All right. Okay, does everybody see? Simple, 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 simple. All right, just have to know the formula. All right, the formula is easy to remember. Sine A over A equals sine B over B equals sine C over C. Simple formula. All right, tomorrow the formula's a bit tougher. All right, now we have a little issue on the next worksheet. All right, the issue I have on the next worksheet is that we are now looking for an angle. All right, so again, not that much difference. I'm going here. So we have sine 57.5 over 15 equals sine of Z over 13. Okay, so now here there's just one extra step. All right, so when we cross multiply and divide, I want sine of Z is equal to 13 sine 57.5 divided by 15. I want the numbers there, please. Someone tell me. Just read them out. Point.
0.731.
Keep going.
Oh, 0.730939.
All right, I don't want this rounded. All right, I'm just writing it down because that's what's on your calculator. Is that everything that's on your calculator?
Yeah.
0.730939.
Oh,
All right, it doesn't matter. All right, but the point I'm trying to make is we now have to figure out the angle. Who remembers how to find the angle? Inverse sine. Thank you. So now, listen. All right, hold on, go. What?
How did you get the 0.73?
Cross, multiply, and divide, right? So your job right now is to do this times this, then you divide it by this. Now remember, the calculator opens up a parentheses. If you don't close it at the right time, you're going to get a wrong answer. That's why I like what William just asked me a question because he didn't get the right answer. I'm hoping everybody can do that. All right, if you're not getting it, just speak up. As I go down the page, it's going to get a little bit trickier. So if you don't know how to do the easy ones, when you get down to the harder ones, not going to be able to do it. So speak up if you can't get that. You good now, William? All right. So now someone brilliantly said, I'm trying to get to Z. So I have to undo the sign. So remember, we do inverse sine, inverse sine. So I'm going to write down on my paper here, Z equals the inverse sine of my answer. All right, so there's one of two ways to do it on your calculator. You can go second sine, click the up arrow, and it'll take you to this number right here. Or you can hit the second, and I think it's the minus sign or the negative sign, and it has answer at the bottom. So it automatically will put in your answer. You don't ever have to type in all those decimals. The problem is, are we rounding? Never round until the what? Very last step. That's your job. Your calculator can hold the numbers. All right. So now my angle rounded to 3 decimal places we say is
46.967.
okay. Now again, do I really care if you say 46.965 or 9? I don't really care, honestly. I'm just saying, you just don't know how to use your calculator if you're not rounding properly. Do you understand that? Learn how to use your calculator. All right, and I'm not saying anybody's right or anybody's wrong. So if we got around 46.97, somewhere around there, we're not arguing over the answer. All right, we just generally say in math, you round to 3 decimal places. All right, that's accurate. All right, anybody have any issues? All right, so let's check out number 3. All right, again, we have this. All right, so let's do it. Sine 48 over 19 equals, uh-oh, why do we have a problem here? Thank you very much. I'm trying to find angle R. So in order to find angle R, I have to have its opposite side. Do we have the opposite side? No. So I'm going to have to solve for what? P, and then I can just add them up and subtract from 180. Is everybody with me on that? Now, that's what I'm saying. As we're going down, it gets a little bit trickier. So now it's a little bit trickier. Everybody good with that? All right, so now we're going to say sine of 48 over 19 equals sine of P over 17. So now, because you're brilliant, cross multiply, divide, inverse sine, second answer, all just right on your calculator. Your job is to practice using your calculator. I need you great at the calculator. And then I want someone to tell me angle P is approximately, all right, 41.676. Anybody have any issue with that? Of course, that's not the right answer. Now we just do what? Add 48 and then minus 180. I know that's going to give me a negative answer, but do we care about the negative? No. Think about the math if you're confused. So tell me what the answer is. 90.324, and that's a degree symbol. Don't forget your degree symbols. That's not bad, right? Simple.
Mr.
Yeah.
Straw? Mr. Straw?
Yeah, hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm going to answer your question. 1 minute. Someone just jumped in front of you. Sorry about that. So are you saying you're having trouble with 41.676? Okay. All right. Go ahead. Lorenzo, tell me, buddy.
How do you find what angle P is?
You do inverse sine, right? Did you set the problem up correct? Let me highlight something. Did you set this up correctly right here?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Now it's just a calculator problem. Right?
okay.
So you just do 17. So you always cross multiply the numbers first. So I'm just going to be a little obnoxious here. So you're going to multiply these two things first. And you're going to divide by this.
And then you just do the inverse sine.
Yeah,
of that?
inverse sine of that. So now do that right now on your calculator. Make sure you're good. Does that make sense now?
Yeah, I got it.
All right, perfect. And then, of
Thank you.
course, you know how to get the other angle by adding and then subtracting from 180, right?
Yeah.
All right, beautiful. All right, so just to make sure everybody's on the right track here, let's look at number 5. All right, so I think it's just important to set it up. Now, angle D, notice, has the side, so this is easier. Okay, and then Morty, what? 892 degrees. All right, here we go, guys. Now, listen, I keep telling you guys, don't let someone else tell you what the answer is. Again, remember, you always multiply the numbers first. All right, so you're cross multiplying, and then you're dividing. All right, and then you know it's an extra step because it always comes out to be point something, blah, blah, blah. And you need angle, inverse sine to find the angle. And there you have it. Any issues with that? Everybody's good? Everybody's good? All right. So now, we got some more problems. Let's go down. Let's look at this odd problem right here. So I'm trying to find PR. So this is what I'm looking for. So What's the problem? Sine of what? So, okay, we can do that. Sine of 49 over PR equals what? Now, someone said something good. Sine of R over 20. Can we solve that now? No, because we have two variables. We cannot solve it. What do I do? Exactly right. If they have two sides, or if you're given two angles, I always tell kids automatically just throw in the third one, right? Then you're not confused. All right, add them up, subtract from 180, and someone tell me what angle R is. How much? 56. So now I come over here and drop this off and make it what? 56. Everybody see that now? All right, sometimes kids can't see the relationship, and then they forget something basic, is that the three angles always add up to 180. All right, so you just add those two and then subtract from 180. All right. Now again, same principle, cross multiply, divide. You have a calculator. I'm not going to see any work. I don't care. I just want the answer. 18 point what? 207. Anybody else agree with that? Everybody okay? All right, here we go. Number 3. All right, someone set this one up for me. Sine of 98 over what? 19.8 equals sine of t over 12. Beautiful. All right, have at it. Cross multiply, divide. And then as soon as you get it, come on, someone else, speak up today. Don't be shy. Don't let the same people tell me the answer. All right, as soon as you know and you're different. Somebody said 36.822, 882 degrees. And if you didn't get that, you can speak up. Everybody good? All right, let's knock out number 5. All right, so what do I have to do on angle 5? Or angle 5. Number 5, what do I have to do for that? Sine of 29.1 over equals. Thank you. Sine of E over. Yeah, so we have to do E and then figure it out from there. What did you get? Oh, not angle. Yeah, angle E is how much? .544. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Like I said, I don't care. That's why you round to 3 decimal places. All right, is everybody good with that? But we want angle D, so you add 29.1 and then subtract 180, and then disregard the negative. Hopefully you understand that. And somebody tell me what that is. 3 what? And that's a degree. Everybody good on that? Any issues? All right, let's look at the next one. All right, now this is the one that's the important one right here, guys. All right, solving the triangle. All right, solving the triangle just means you have to find all missing parts. All right, you have to find all missing parts. All right, now again, it's just annoying because it's just 3 problems. All right, so the first thing is, to me personally, the best thing to do is to figure out what A is. Say it again. Anybody have any issues with why that's 47.7? Okay, so now, here we go. I want to find A. I'm listening. Sine of 47.7 over A equals. A is BC, right? Because they're calling it A. Right. Notice sine of 67 over 15. Beautiful. And so then somebody tell me what A is. 053 like this. What? Well, it doesn't matter. You're just using the two that are given, the angle and the opposite side. That's the key to everything. Go to the angle and the side that's given. Sine of 67, right? Right? That's why I'm saying, please set it up, guys. Please set it up. Now, let me also tell you this. In my opinion, don't ever use the one that is rounded. So because sine of 67 over 15 was used, all right, that's not rounded. We should stick with that. So now I'm going to say sine of 67 over 15 is equal to the sine of 65.3 over C. Does everybody agree with that? And then cross multiply, divide. And somebody tell me. 14.805. Everybody agreeing with me on that? Any questions? Any questions? All right. So now, listen, guys. Let's go ahead and do me a big favor here, you guys. I think this sheet is the most important. So I want to do 2, 3, and 4. But I also just want to go back here. I like that you have to make some decisions. So I want 2, 4, 6. All right. So everybody's doing 2, 4, 6, and then 2, 3, 4. Missing sides and angles. That is correct. All right. Is everybody with me on that? So I want the last 2 worksheets. The last 2 worksheets should be finished up. And wow, I forgot. We started actually a little bit early. So anybody have any quick questions? They want me to say anything different? Anybody? All right, so tomorrow is law of cosine. Then we review. We have a test on Friday. All right, on chapter 8. All right. My homeschool peeps, everybody good with that explanation? Oh, and by the way, look down at the bottom, you guys. Hey, I went ahead and included the answers. I want you to check your work. Does everybody see that at the bottom? All right, double check. Make sure you know what's going on. All right. All right, my homeschool peeps, good job. All right.
All right, bye, Mr. Stroud. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you so much. Bye. Have a great day.
all right.